Hello everyone, I'm Valentina Logini from BUGSENG and I'm very happy to welcome you to today's presentation. Some of you may have noticed on our social media that we've been hinting at something happening behind the scenes. Well, the wait is over. That something is our brand new website, which you can now see on the screen I'm sharing. As you will notice, this new website offers a much more intuitive navigation experience. It's now easier than ever to find detailed information about our products and services, including our flagship static analysis tool, ECLAIR. Speaking of which, we are excited to introduce the latest release, ECLAIR 3.14.0. Alongside new features, which my colleague Alessandro will showcase shortly, we're also introducing a new evaluation model for trying out the tool. You now have two options to explore ECLAIR. By clicking on free trial, you can request the classic 30-day fully functional evaluation. This gives you the opportunity to test ECLAIR's full potential, technical support from our team included. With this new release, we're introducing a 7-day rapid trial. This is a much lighter version that can be automatically downloaded with no registration required, and that allows you to run a selection of core features on your own physical machine. Please note that this version has limited functionality. For instance, there's no MISRA, but it's a great way to get a first hands-on experience with ECLAIR. Alessandro will walk you through how to download it and use the instant trial in just a few minutes. I promise it's super easy. So, with this release, trying out ECLAIR has become faster and more accessible than ever. Alessandro, whenever you are ready, please take over. Just a quick reminder, as always, during BUGSENG's webinar, feel free to post any question you may have in the Q&A section, or simply just unmute your microphone and ask your question directly to Alessandro. We've saved about 10 to 15 minutes at the end of the presentation to address all your questions about the tool. Enjoy the presentation.
Right. Do you see the slides?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So, good day, everyone. I'm Alessandro Zucchelli from the BUGSENG development team. Welcome and thank you for joining on this webinar on the ECLAIR software verification suite. Just a few weeks ago, we released ECLAIR version 3.14.0. So today's session will begin with a brief overview of the suite, and then we're going to take a closer look. Do not hesitate to unmute your microphone if you need me to stop at any point, so I can clarify or elaborate anything. So let's begin. What is the ECLAIR verification suite? So the ECLAIR suite is a set of products and services that are designed and delivered by BUGSENG in order to provide for static analysis, tool qualification, and library and compiler qualification. About the static analysis tool, what you can do with it and how it's different from other tools. So ECLAIR has been on the market for around 13 to 14 years. And unlike other tools that have a very hard time adapting, ECLAIR has been designed with modern technology since the very beginning, proving to be flexible and adaptable over time to a wide range of use cases. So here we have an overview of the key features. I won't read you this slide. I prefer to see them properly one by one. But of course, you can take a screenshot if you wish, or I can directly send you the slide deck after the webinar. In this case, you may leave a quick memo in the question and answer sections, so I don't forget about it. So, compliance to coding standards. ECLAIR allows you to continuously keep your code checked against standards such as MISRA C and MISRA C++. And this is an overview of the ECLAIR packages. B here is the entry-level package. It comes with the highest support for bar C available in the market, and with a series of essentials. And if you don't need MISRA, this package might be enough for you. Otherwise, if you need MISRA, all the features of B are also included in both MISRA packages. And C here supports all versions of MISRA C, and MP does the same for C++. If you need both C and C++, you may combine them into one single package called MCP. So, about automatic toolchain configuration. This feature here is unique to ECLAIR. You won't find it in any other tool. So you don't need to spend any time configuring the tool to recognize your toolchain. Every aspect of the toolchain configuration is performed automatically. You just run the installer and start working. And please do not underestimate this aspect, as most tools require long, complicated configurations to be adapted to the compilation toolchain. And so otherwise they will completely ignore the compilation toolchain, and which means that results are unsound. In contrast, ECLAIR will automatically adapt itself to its compilation toolchain, including all the options without any of your intervention. In short, you get full accuracy. In fact, it is TÜV certificate, and with no effort on your side. Now, of course, you can play with configuration at a more advanced level, but this is typically never necessary, and you can start working with ECLAIR within minutes after the installation. You can use ECLAIR from a variety of interfaces, from its own graphical user interface, from the command line, or maybe integrated within your favorite IDE, or inside a continuous integration system, such as Jenkins, GitHub, or GitLab. In fact, from the BUGSENG website, you can access eclairit.com, where you can see ECLAIR working on an integration server. There, we keep several open source projects under continuous analysis for compliance with MISRA and other coding standards. In fact, if you want to check out what ECLAIR output looks like, on ECLAIR you can consult the reports directly in your browser without having to install ECLAIR on your PC. Now, with ECLAIR, you can work with Docker containers and other virtual environments, which is very convenient for a variety of reasons. So, for example, it's very useful if you work in frozen environments that are independent from system updates. Now, output-wise, ECLAIR supports several kinds of reports, depending on the information and level detail you need. So from textual reports to the HTML ones that you can visualize on your browser, to PDF, spreadsheets, and so on. In safety-critical projects, ECLAIR Independence Checker becomes fundamental. Most safety standards require strict independence between components, and with ECLAIR, you can automatically verify such architectural constraints to prove independence and freedom from interference of your software components. Now, different functional safety standards refer to this concept using different names, but essentially they mean the same thing. Interactions among components must be kept under strict control. In particular, failures in lower criticality components shall not cause failures in higher criticality components. Now, let's be honest. Managing requirements in Word documents or Excel spreadsheets is far from ideal. And as you may know, requirement management tools can come with a hefty price tag. Instead, ECLAIR includes a fully integrated requirement management tool at no additional cost, as it is available in any package from the B package upwards. And you can use it to keep track of your requirements and have bidirectional traceability all the way down to the code and test cases. So ECLAIR will also point out both uncovered requirements and code without requirement associated. What's more, the documentation generated is interactive and beautifully designed, user-friendly, and clean visuals, making it very easy to navigate and present to stakeholders. Now, let's talk about qualification. So, ECLAIR is qualifiable and it is certified by TÜV for the use in safety-critical industries, in compliance with main functional safety standards up to highest criticality levels. And when it comes to such qualification, the suite has three options. So the ECLAIR Functional Safety Pack includes the ECLAIR Safety and Security Manual, TÜV Certificate and Technical Report. Then there is ECLAIR Qualification Kit and ECLAIR Qualification Service. Now, for some industries, the FUSA pack is enough. It is rather inexpensive, and assessors are okay with it as it gets the job done. And in other sectors, such as aerospace, the tools has to be qualified in the tool operational environments. So certificates are not enough. That's where the qualification kit comes into play. It provides all the materials, test assets, and evidence needed to make a solid justification for the use of ECLAIR in safety-related development. Now, another alternative is commissioning the qualification work to BUGSENG safety teams. We can reproduce your environments and deliver all the required documents within 10 working days. This is done with the ECLAIR qualification service. Now, let's stay on qualification. So the ECLAIR suite comes with two solutions for automatic library and compiler qualification. So qualifying a full C or C++ library, such as STL or Boost, can mean thousands of lines of additional static analysis and documentation and effort, but typically less than 5% of such libraries are actually used in our application. So to solve this, we have an add-on called ECLAIR Code Scout. This tells you exactly which part of your library you are actually using. For instance, let's say that you are using the C++ standard library, which is huge. You don't want nor need to qualify it all. You only need to qualify the parts that you're actually using. And thanks to ECLAIR Code Scout, you can concentrate all your efforts on qualifying just that. Now, in functional safety development, compiler qualification is also required. It is not optional. And though identifying all compiler use cases in a large project is a very error-prone and time-consuming task when done manually. And being aware of this, here at BUGSENG, and joining forces with our partner SolidSense, we came up with a solution that we call ECLAIR CertRun. You know, compilers have hundreds of options, which the code generated depends on. If you need to qualify the compiler, you need to know exactly which options are being used. So instead of mapping and configuring all your use cases manually, CertRun does it automatically for you. It produces a configuration of supertests for each detected use case. So no more digging through dozens of makefiles, scripts, and build systems, and no more manual mistakes. Thanks to CertRun, you get precision, repeatability, and full traceability every time. And this speeds up the qualification work a lot and avoids unfortunate surprises due to errors. Right, so now that we know what the ECLAIR suite does, let's see it in action. So, as I promised earlier, I will show you how to install our rapid evaluation trial. So, you just need to, let me open it in another. So, just clicking here, you will be able to send an email as requested. This is the only thing that you need to send. This trial is a great starting point to get a feel for how ECLAIR works. So, you will receive an email. Here it is. I will download it for Linux, as my machine is on Linux. And in just a couple of seconds, it should be done downloading. So, in the meantime, I will open our terminal so that I can, here it is. So, I can open this. And install. All right, there it is. So this is obviously the license agreement. I will skip it, but be sure to read it all. And I will accept it. So now maybe I need to zoom up a little bit. So now it is installing our ECLAIR trial. Let's give it a few seconds. I'm okay with putting it in this path, so I will just press enter, but if you wish, so you can specify any path you wish. So here there is this little error. Don't mind it because it is only on my machine because I've already installed it previously, but it's not a problem. So now that we have it, let's install a C project that we can check. So I will install CRC from Michael Bar. And here it is. So let's unzip it. And here it is. So let's open this project on Visual Studio Code so we can have a look at it. We have a .c file, a header file, and a main file. It's quite a simple project that implements a cyclic redundancy code. So let's test it with let's test our trial in this context. So okay. And now I will show you one of our new features, which is the eclairit driver. So this driver is extremely simple. You just call the driver, then minus minus and a build command. So in this case, this. So this works with any kind of build command. In this case, I'm just calling the compiler and the files, but it could be a make invocation or a script. Now, this driver will test our build command and then we'll run an ECLAIR analysis. And will automatically open the database for us. Just let's give it a few seconds and there you go. So this is how an ECLAIR database appears. We have a project name that it was given automatically, but you can specify a proper name if you wish so. We have a number of services available that we enable. We have enabled 25 rules, 3 tools, reporter, and parser. Here we have the frames that can show all the compilation process that was intercepted and analyzed. There is the clean command, the clean part, and then the build. Here the first translation unit has been built. And every file has a fingerprint, and this is needed for safety standards, because every part of the project has to be traceable. And now we can see some of the reports. So these are reports from the bar C coding standards. As I mentioned previously, this trial version does not include MISRA. And there are a little number of reports because, as you can imagine, this project, which is from Michael Bar, does not violate a lot of bar C rules. So you can take a look at something, but they're not very interesting for itself. So I would like to show you some MISRA violation instance. So let's go for MISRA. And instead of calling this trial version, I will just call my ECLAIR installation, which is on my path, which is a full installation. And I will enable the MISRA C set. All right, so we already see the different number of violations, and in fact, here we have a lot of MC4 services violations. MC4 standing for the latest release of MISRA C, which released this year in 2025. And so let's see some violations. Let's see these ones from 14.4, which states that the controlling expressions of an if statement and of an iteration statement shall have an essentially Boolean type. As we can see here, this is not in fact a Boolean type. But so let's see how it appears with our VS Code plugin. So, right now it's open, and it is all right. So here I can see it inside VS Code, and I can move. I mean, this is just a little report, but maybe this one will be more interesting. All right. So I can see the point of the code where the violation appeared, and this will show me the pre-processed code and other areas of the code that are relevant for our violation. And all right, so let's see how ECLAIR appears on the graphical user interface. So I will open it. And let's zoom a bit. All right, so here we have, actually, let me restart everything. All right. So here we have the project tab. Here we need to specify where to find our project, which is inside demo, CRC, and I will call it crc.ecs. And ECS is the extension of the ECLAIR project. So services, we will add, as you can see, we have all MISRA, all its revisions and releases. We go with MC4, which is the latest one. And we can also, if we wish so, we could be more specific on which rules we want to enable. In our case, I think we can go with MC4 and see everything. And oh, I didn't save here, my bad. Now, tasks. So the clean configuration, by default, there are some make invocations, but let's remove them and have that. This one will rm -f a.out. So we remove the previously compiled program, and we can also rename all these tabs. So let's do manual clean. Then the build configuration, we will call it manual build. And let's remove the make and these arguments, which, as you can see, it also supports parallelization. So our build command will be ccc main.c and crc.c. Now we enable, all right, we could have given a name also to the service sets that we chose. In this case, it's default, and the clean and build tasks are the one we have given. So let's run it. Let's save. And now ECLAIR will do everything and prepare its analysis. Don't worry about these warnings; they are not a problem. And this pop-up shows us that the run finished with success, and that we can go here and view our records. This is not coming, in fact. So here is the same we have seen before, but this time we've done it with our graphical user interface. But obviously the results are the same. So let's try to fix something, shall we? So we have all these violations that we saw before, and let's go see what we can do with them. So this has to be a Boolean type. So the most straightforward way to do this is to put that is not equal to 0. And I will do the same to the others. All right, so this one right here. Here, if I kept the ECLAIR plugin on my VS Code, it would have been very, very useful, but that's not a problem. So let's do this, and this should be gone on our next analysis, which we will do in a second. So let's see something else that may be interesting. 21.6 says that the standard library input-output functions shall not be used. And here in the main file, we see some printfs. So let's say that we are okay with them, and we don't want to get rid of them, and we want to deviate them. So I have prepared. Let's open another terminal. Otherwise, I would remove that one. So I have prepared this deviation.ecl file here. ECL stands for ECLAIR configuration language. Let's move it inside the CLC. All right. So this is the configuration here. We have a comment that explains why we are deviating this report. So the use of stdio inside the main file is deliberate and only for testing purposes. And this is the language in which we have, in which we can describe such environment. And this language is very powerful. You can describe a lot of reports to have the best configuration possible for the reports you are actually trying to deviate. So let's do another run and see if this did anything. So what we expect now is not to find any violation from rule 14.4 as we fixed it. And so let's see. I don't see any 14.4 violation. So it means that we have successfully fixed that non-compliance. For rule 1.6, so, oh, right, I totally forgot. I did not apply the deviation. So let's close this up. In order to apply the deviation here on the graphical user interface, we need to enable the advanced mode. The advanced mode will open up these new settings. So the toolchain is where, as I mentioned before, you can play with your toolchain identification. We are not going to do that. Here we can enable other settings, and you know what? Let's get some ODT reports as well, so we can see them as well. Then in the settings, we have analysis ECL files. So we are going to add the demo. Oops, my bad. It's in CRC deviation.ecl. Right. So let's try again. All right. So now, as we can see, it's these records are tagged as deliberate and have the justification right next to it. And these tags can be also turned into hide, and the records will just disappear. But in this case, we want to see them and see why they are justified. Let's see what else this gave us. And as you can see, it opened up it gave us also ODT reports. Let's take a look at them. There it is. So let's zoom up. And this is how it appears on, maybe zoom up a little bit more. All right. How they appear in ODT file. There are many other choices, as we could see. And everything is reported here. I wanted to see the violations we have. Here it is. The reports are tagged as well here. All right, so the demo part is over. Let's have a look at some of the questions now. I see some of you have requested the slides in the meantime, so I will make sure to share them with you after the session. And I see there are some questions in the chat, so I would kindly ask one of my colleagues if they can read the questions for me.
Sure, Alessandro. Thank you very much for the presentation. Let me quickly grab the section. And so, first question, do you have any examples of how ECLAIR can be deployed in continuous integration? We mainly use Jenkins.
All right, yes. So as part of the ECLAIR installation package, we provide several templates to use ECLAIR in containers and provide some templates and instructions in the user manual to set up continuous integration automation on platforms like GitLab, GitHub, and of course Jenkins. And in fact, I can show you the eclairit integration server that I've mentioned earlier. And these are the reports that, let me zoom a bit. These are the open source projects that are being analyzed that I mentioned earlier. So yes, you can check it here as well.
Thank you very much. Then, how can I check if my compiler is supported by ECLAIR?
All right, so you can check the list of supported toolchain that you can find here on the website as well. It's here on supported platform. And if the toolchain is not listed here, or maybe if you are unsure, you can always contact us on reach out to one of us on the contact emails, and we will double check for you.
Then, do you have any specific licensing options for open source project?
Yes, we do. In fact, ECLAIR is part of the continuous integration pipeline of several open source projects, such as Xen, Zephyr, Trusted Firmware. And for the open source world, we offer ECLAIR licenses at a special price.
Great. Now we have the last question. So what about the third standard? Is it fully supported by ECLAIR 3.14.0?
All right. So we do provide a mapping from CERT-C rules to MISRA-C guidelines, which is endorsed by the MISRA-C committee. And we can go into more detail in a call with you about the requirements for that. But let me tell you that CERT-C is basically unmaintained since 2016. And in fact, Robert Secord, who is the main person behind CERT coding standard, left the project around 2017. And in fact, one of the main reasons why the MISRA-C is the right coding standard for safety and security is that it is continuously maintained and backed by the MISRA consortium, which is a solid organization. Is there any other? All right, so that's a wrap. ECLAIR version 3.14.0 is available now with all the features we've discussed and so much more. What else? As always, you can, if you have further questions or feedback and comments, feel free to get in touch at info@bugseng.com. And thank you all again for joining. Have a great rest of your day and talk to you soon.